Okay, Andrew, the time has come.
Here we
Thanks
are.
for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so I want to talk about your job working with luxury goods and being a sales specialist. And my first question always is to tell me about your background. Were you always interested in fashion industry or anything like that?
Yes,
Or
so
how you grew into this career, you know?
exactly. I always remember from such a young age being attracted to, beautiful objects, art, travel, just through movies and magazines and film and just everything. Just I grew up in Indiana and there wasn't a lot of that around, so I'm kind of a daydreamer. And I always imagined this kind of life surrounded by those types of things that I admire. And so I think that natural attraction just found its way to me and introduced me into the retail and fashion world. And along with one of my best friends in grade school and growing up, as soon as we turned 14, which I think was the legal age when you could first start working at the mall,
Mhm.
we both signed up and our careers took off in retail. So from 14 till today, I've been slowly climbing and building my knowledge and know-how and interacting with people and products all along the way.
It's cool because it's like relatable. I
Yes.
can see myself walking into a mall and that's a common job. I know you love beautiful things, but did you know I could work at some of these high-end luxury stores, or what were you kind of thinking? What was did
Oh,
you have a goal or
yeah. No, my my retail past has been tumultuous. Um, so when you're 14, 15, even into your early 20s, you don't really always know exactly what you want to do. You make a lot of mistakes along the way. My first job didn't go so well. I was hired as seasonal help, but they thought I was, well, standing around too much and just talking with my coworkers, which I love to do. But they wanted me to fold more clothes and, tend to the customers, which I learned is important as well for the job. But, through the different levels, I guess, in retail, and once you started to find kind of what you're passionate about, then your career kind of starts to lay out before you on what you like and don't like and where you want it to go.
I know that you moved from Indiana to Chicago and that's where you are now. Is that when you kind of took your big leap, or
So,
were there options
in,
in Indiana for you?
yeah, so when I was in college, that's really when I got my first luxury retail position. Um, it was part time, but the I'm gonna say, the benefits and the experiences that were earned and given at that place really kind of changed my mind and my life completely. Um, yeah, so I worked for a company for about 2.5 years, and as I finished my studies and earned my degree, my managing director at the time really kind of encouraged me to consider retail as a serious, job and future. And I expressed at the time, that in the end wasn't my end goal. I wanted to, experience life in a bigger city and just, try different lifestyle. And so with her help, we made that happen. And shortly after graduation, a job became available here in Chicago. I interviewed for it with the help of my director, and then I transitioned up here to Chicago. And then that was my first time working full time as, a luxury sales specialist. And it was fun. It was a great time.
What's it like the stepping stones once you're in it, you know?
Well, it's different for
Like, do
everyone.
you have to be going to the back room all the time? What's the process?
Well, depending on the company that hires you,
Mm.
They offer really robust training and like service ceremony training, just so you understand the core values of the company, the core values of, the products and merchandise that you're selling, and why, why it's special, or why it takes so long to make, and why, is it priced at this level. There's so many things that, you need to understand when you're taking on a role at these companies. So the training usually is really robust, so you feel confident and ready for the role. Um, After that, it just becomes about authentic relationships that you build with clients and your coworkers, because the more, relationships you have both outside the store and inside, it really helps you to excel in your career and build your client book, and just get to learn the trends and people's personal tastes, and really kind of curate your client book.
I'm sure. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, and then day in and day out, it's very different. You never know what to expect. It depends on deliveries. It depends on what's going on in the economy. It depends on what's going on globally. I mean, over the last 2 years, as we know, we've experienced just so much uncertainty. But with that, being in the luxury world, we've experienced, a boom, like more shopping than ever. Shelves are empty because clients have bought everything that's been produced over the last 2 years. So you never know. You never know.
Which is so amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's a great thing to mention because I think people are thinking who aren't in the industry,
Yeah.
well, why would I do that? I mean, we just went through a pandemic. No one wants to spend money. I don't like people want to spend money. You know?
Exactly. And it's the place that I work now is really lovely. There's so much art and history and so many people's lives that are touched by the purchase of one item. It's more than just buying a namesake or a label. It's really an art, it's a craft, and it touches a lot of people in a lot of countries when a purchase is made. So I think a lot of clients that shop where I work now understand that, and they really value that, and that makes showing up to work every day really fun and special too.
I'm sure that your personality plays a part in this. I think, especially in luxury, you have people who you want to keep coming back, and you want to build a genuine relationship with them.
Yes,
And so, how does your personality help you in this industry?
sure. Um,
What are some good traits to have? You can pat yourself on
well,
the back. It's okay.
well, it can be challenging because you're facing the public every day, and that means you're facing all facets of it. Most people that you interact with have a pleasant disposition, but you also meet people who are um, coming in with other stress factors happening around their life, and you just kind of have to learn how to um, help them calm down in some instances, and just kind of read the room, and sometimes be the opposite of how they're being. That takes skill and craft, because you don't want to upset anyone while while they're at the store.
Mhm.
But then you have to also be authentic to yourself, and sometimes clients will not like that, but then you also find the clients that do, and then that's where you start kind of building your connections, and it takes years to really build a good relationship with the client. So hopefully you find the person who's willing to put in the effort on the other end. And sometimes the clients are just there for one or two times, and then you have to be able to kind of know the difference and offer a good experience for both. Because you want the one or two time client to feel special, but you also want your long term lifestyle client to feel valued and important along the way as well. And all of that comes with time and experience. So, like I said, I have almost 15 plus years in the field. So, like I'm honest, I've made a lot of mistakes along the way, but with those, they're always learning opportunities to kind of build upon your next opportunity that comes your way and kind of put together your frame of mind and reference on how to navigate where you are.
I love that. And I love that you want to make the person feel special. I believe that too when you walk
Yes.
into a luxury store. I've learned that from talking to some people at some stores, some sales specialists, that you you just never know who's going to spend. And
Never.
they're always like, I mean, I've gone to a lot in Las Vegas, and so they're like, anybody could be walking around.
Right.
And how it goes such a long way when, especially in retail, when you feel like you're important and you're not
Yes.
being passed over. And so I think
Yeah.
that's a really nice quality with a lot of people in your field, that it does feel genuine, that it's not just, all right, I gotta hit my number today. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I
Exactly.
think that's a good quality to have, uh,
Yeah.
the warmth and being genuine and just making them feel special. But that's a talent, you know.
Yeah.
What are some perks that you love about the job that's like, oh my gosh? I mean, you probably can move from store to store. You could probably, travel a little bit, or maybe you can't. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah. There's certainly like tangible perks and also just other interesting things that have come about very surprisingly. So you work with people every day, and then where I'm not at now, there's about 20 people. And so you become very close and, you can make some really important connections and relationships and make lifelong friends. So that's something really amazing. Um, Interacting with clients, you share your sometimes your struggles, but also your great successes together. um, Travel tips, different things going on in the city or around the world. So that's been exciting to share with coworkers and clients. As far as other benefits and perks, of course, a lovely discount on merchandise, which is wonderful.
Yes.
Uh,
Lucky
we
guy.
have exactly, and full health benefits, full retirement benefits. Um, Sometimes they do profit sharing, which is important for retirement. There have been free share awards over time. There have been amazing travel and training opportunities in New York and in Paris. There have been other trips with other companies that I've worked for where I was selected amongst a group of salespeople to work at a pop up store in San Francisco. So I got to work in San Francisco for 2 weeks for a very special event. And that was amazing. Um, and all of that just kind of builds on your experience and appreciation for the company you're working for or what you want to do in your next chapter. So there's lots of great perks to be had and found within retail.
Not all jobs get a nice discount like someone like,
I know, I know.
Uh, what about some cons? I are is do you have to, maybe this is just something, I don't know if it's con or not, but do you have to hit a certain amount every month or year? Is it a personal goal? Is it a team goal? Is it
Yeah,
be stressful? So
it is stressful because shopping is not always consistent or reliable. That's kind of the roller coaster and thrill of it. You're going to have days where you're down in the weeds and you don't feel like you're really doing much. And then the next day, you could have someone come in and change that frown upside down and put a smile on your face real quick. So you just have to be really mentally strong and just always know that the best is yet to come and just remind yourself that. And you're going to have good days and bad days. Your colleagues are going to have a amazing sales day and you'll just be standing there on the sidelines, but you have to cheer them on because you want them to be happy for you when it's your turn to shine. So there's definitely stress in that. Um, Other things, product scarcity is hard. You imagine every day clients coming in and they want to spend their money, but you don't have what they want. And telling people no every day is exhausting. So that can be annoying. So
Mhm.
there's that. And it's interpersonal relationships at work can be stressful. You may not always get along with everyone as well. So navigating that and always having to be polite, professional.
Well, as you mentioned, I mean, there's only 20 people in
Yeah.
at this store, and so that's smaller than what most people are working with. I mean,
Yeah.
people are working at home now, but but we don't have a crowd in here.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, usually you're interacting with a lot of people, so you don't get too stressed. Is it competitive
Oh,
with your
yes.
colleagues? Do you feel
Oh,
like?
yes.
Um,
So there's
how do you
and
balance that?
mm,
And
carefully,
like, how do
and
you read?
sometimes not carefully.
Okay, okay.
So,
You kind of have to stand up for yourself. I can imagine.
yes. Yeah. So there is a bit of competitiveness because at my current employer, there's a threshold of sales. If you hit it, then you get a nice bonus at the end of the year. So that definitely strikes up some stiff competition amongst a few of the salespeople. Um, but usually it's all good natured. But like I said, with the scarcity of product, if one person gets something and the other doesn't, then that could make or break a year. So, but that can be any career, you
Right,
know.
right. That's interesting, and
Yeah.
I mean that's another good trait to have, that you're not gonna go and cry if.
You can cry.
No, I
That's
know.
okay. Emotions.
You have to be resilient. Something
Yes, resilience is
pass you
important.
by, and then or someone takes something up, but you feel confident that okay, I'm gonna get the next one. I can keep going.
Yes, you got
Yes,
to have that can-do attitude always.
yes, yes. What is it like with your peers? What are do you notice that there's tends to be similar personalities or similar demographic, or is it just a similar interest in fashion? Is that pretty much what draws people?
Yeah, we
Men, women?
we're very diverse, men and women of all ages, of all backgrounds, all walks of life. It creates a very interesting, environment. Um, it takes time to adjust when you're new to any setting. So just, always be patient, be kind, and, understand everyone's role. And, I work with colleagues that have been at the place I'm at now for many have badges for 10 plus years, some for 15, some for 20, and some over 30.
Wow.
So there's a lot to be said about a company that has such a high retention rate and people that are willing to stay around for that number of years. I myself am going to be anniversarying 8 years in June.
Wow.
So I
Now,
think that says a lot.
yes, and now that you've worked at a couple different brands, do you notice that in all brands, or like if there's higher turnover with certain ones over others?
Mhm. Where I'm at now has probably the lowest turnover rate in retail, in almost all of retail. Other places, they definitely have higher turnover, and I think that's part of their company culture or lack of benefits or other various reasons. But yeah.
And I'm sure if someone was watching this, I'm sure they're curious. But they probably could look those things up, don't you think? Of,
Yeah,
benefits, and then kind of dwindle it down to, oh, okay.
yeah. Or just companies that have higher retention rate for retail sales. So
What's something that you love about your job? What do you
I
have a great work schedule? What's something that you
the
just
work schedule is nice, especially in Chicago. We have a very nice set schedule. Um, I basically get to work every day around 9:30 ish, and I'm out by 6:15. I have an hour lunch break. We're closed as a store one day a week, so everyone has that one day off, and then we get another day off during the week. And then I love my clients. Over the 8 years, almost 8 years, I built some really great clients. They're fun. It's really great to get to know them and kind of surprise and delight them. So that's really the joy of the job. And then I have made some really great friends at work, and just getting to hang out with them and make jokes and, just pass by life with them.
Nice to enjoy where you work
Yes,
and the
it
people
is
you work
important.
with,
Yeah.
because it is your life.
I've been in different instances where, all of those things weren't the case. And I would definitely advise trying to find that right balance of like really enjoying your coworkers, enjoying your clients, and enjoying what you do.
So that would leads to my last question is,
Yeah.
what would be your advice to someone who's looking to get into the fashion industry and they're like you, they were drawn to the goodies and
Yeah.
it's fun life. And so what would be
It's so interesting because it's my life it doesn't look like I thought it, but I'm definitely very happy and content with how things have turned out. And in the fashion or luxury or sales industry, however you want to phrase it, there's a lot of different things you can do. You can be client facing like I am. You can be in management. You can be in the operations side, in shipping and receiving. Um, you won't know if you like it till you get in. You have to give it time. You have to learn. You have to be patient, and you have to give yourself the chance to grow and see where you can go. So I think it can be an amazing experience. I think there's a lot of great companies out there that offer young people that first experience, like where I first started working, right out of college or right during college. I was, you know, sent to New York several times, and for someone from the Midwest who hadn't had much of those travel experiences, that was amazing.
you go to
That
big
really
city?
exactly, like, that gave me a whole new perspective on what my life could be like or what it could look like, and I think that was really inspiring. So if you're someone who is unsure, then just give it a try. It's great. It can be really fun.
I really like that. I also, just a takeaway, I feel like you've mentioned a few times about being kind.
Yes.
Well, and it definitely benefit. Yes, we need that in every career, but it benefiting you in your career and then also being patient. And
Mhm.
I think those are both wonderful skills to develop and have. And it's nice to let people know, okay,
Yeah.
it's good advice.
I think that's more than, I mean, in any job,
Right.
because we all are under deadlines and goals and, you know, different stress factors, both within the company you work in and things going on at home. So just take a deep breath and try and just understand where the other person's coming from. And, that's always good advice for life and for work.
I need that.
Yes.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking time and doing this.
Yes. Yes.